Hey guys, thanks for stopping by stuckintheNineties.webs.com over here on my YouTube channel. Can't believe it's been a week already, and as you see I have piles of stuff here, and today I kind of want to show you guys and talk about how you would play games from different regions on consoles that are region locked. Now today, a lot of the consoles, and there's some consoles from the past too, that you don't have to have anything to play games from different regions. Game Boy handhelds, Game Gear handhelds, you know, the newer consoles like the PS3 and PSP, these are all region-free devices, and some other consoles, you know, I didn't mention them all. But other consoles, some of the more popular consoles like the Super Nintendo, the Sega Saturn, the Sony PlayStation, the regular NES, the Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, these are all region blocked consoles. So to play games from other regions, you would have to either modify your console, buy a console from that region, or have one of these devices. Start here. This right here is a 72 pin to 60 pin converter. Now you would use this converter to play US Nintendo games on the Japanese Famicom, because they have different pins and whatnot, but you can plug it in the top and play those games, and this comes in handy, you know, so you can mix and match and build. So when I import, typically what the games I'm trying to get are games that didn't get released in America, and so you can kind of mix and match and have an overall good collection if you can, and it creates less clutter for me. A lot of people like to have both the consoles, and I do in some sorts, like I have a regular, you know, a US Nintendo and a Japanese Nintendo, but for the most part I just usually have the American console with ways to play imports on it. So you would use this to play the NES games on the Famicom. Simple enough. Just grab the next one here. Now this is a common device, and this is a really common brand by Interact. This is the Game Shark. Now this particular Game Shark's for a Nintendo 64, and you would use this to play. And 64, it's a ridiculously easy mod. You can find it here on YouTube, I'm sure, to just modify your console to play region. It's one of the easier consoles to play games from different regions with just a couple simple modifications. But if you don't want to go that route, this will do it. This is the Game Shark by Interact. You can find these on the cheap, and the cool thing about these, and a lot of these action replay style things, will let you put in cheat codes. They act as additional memory, so they usually serve more than one purpose. So that's really cool to get the most out of your money there. Other import devices, such as this code breaker for the Dreamcast by Pelican, if you wanted the official one, could run you some bucks, could run you some heavy bucks for what it is, and you can play Japanese games. You can also do a lot of other things with code breaker. You can like override and play some games that weren't VGA compatible on your monitor and stuff, but they don't work. I don't suggest doing that. Code Breaker's nice. You can get these, but the cool thing about the Code Breaker and the Dreamcast in general, the Dreamcast will play backup discs with no modification needed. So you can jump on a lot of websites and find Code Breaker, various other import adapters, and things like that for the Dreamcast for free. If you're going to go and buy one, Code Breaker is definitely a brand and one that will play. I don't know if the other ones will. I assume they will, but this could cost you a little bit of money if you wanted a complete one. But it looks really good on your shelf there. It's nice. Now for the Sony PlayStation, a popular one, it's a little bit more hard to play the import games, the PS1, the gray one. This is the Gold Finger, and it hooks into the back of the console. And now this system acts just like a Game Shark would, and there's a Game Shark brand Game Shark for the PS1. The earlier Game Sharks did the same thing, they hooked in the back. Now why this is a little different, and it would be just as easy as anything else. You would put the disc in, start game without cheats, and boom, but you need a spring to switch out the discs or something. There's instructions in here, and it comes with a little spring you load into your PS1, and it's a pain. So I do a different way I play imported PS1 games on other consoles, not the great PS1, but if you were to do it on the great PS1 and you wanted to go that route, Gold Finger is an excellent way to do it. It comes with a spring. It just seems like a pain to me, but I'm sure it's easy. I mean, there's instructions in there, and you can find these ridiculously cheap. I got this for $3.99 from the Goodwill. I got a bunch of them. They had a bunch for that price. I sold a few on eBay. They're really cool. The same sort of device here for the Sega Saturn will cost you a little bit of money. There's different ones, but it's not going to cost you extreme amounts. We're talking maybe $10 to $40, you know. 10 if you get a great deal. Probably expect to pay 20, 25 if you're just going to grab one on the moment and you don't want to look and have the patience to try to hunt out a deal. It'll cost you a little bit of bucks, but this is great. The action replay, 4-in-1. I always, when you're getting import cards, they make the simple ones that just do that. But for your money, add a couple bucks and try to get these ones that do have multiple purposes. This so I can back up all my saves and all kinds of stuff. You know, it has 4 purposes in one. You get the best value. I try to, when I do my import cards and import adapters, I try to get one that's really good value. You can find these on PlayAsia.com, or at least you could. And you can play Japanese Sega Saturn games. There's a lot of Japanese Sega Saturn games that didn't get released in America that are so worth picking up, and you can do it with one of these. Now for the Super Nintendo, and it's the last little device I got, but definitely one of the coolest. I got others, but these are the major systems I wanted to show you and talk about in my time limit here. And this is the NES Game Saver. Nowhere it says it does the imports or whatever, but this is really cool because it offers multiple purposes. You can save any game, any level, anytime, which is really good if you're just gaming, you know, in short play, you gotta go to work or whatever, you can save your progress. If your batteries go dead, you don't have to do that painstaking battery replacement, which it's not the hardest thing to do, but you know, it's going to take some time. This you can save at any point. The only drawback I would see is I think you have to leave the thing plugged in to save your save, which isn't a big deal, but I like to unplug everything before I leave since I have so many things plugged in at once. And yeah, it's great. It also offers slow motion with no interruption. Most slow motion devices I've seen just pause the screen multiple times at a very fast pace to kind of emulate slow motion. This one just does it with no interruptions. It just literally slows down the game. I'm not really sure how they do it, but this is a really cool device, and what it will let you do is the cool thing, and one of the reasons, you know, I wanted to get it, it lets you play those Super Famicom games in your US console, which is really cool, because I think usually I really go for the Japanese console over the American console as far as design and look, but as far as the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo is concerned, I like the US one, which is kind of rare when I like the US design better than the Japanese design, and this is really cool. So this is the way I like to do it, with this little device that kind of plugs in, and then you plug in your Famicom game here, and you can do it either or, so that's really cool. So in a nutshell, you can get these devices about $5 to $40, you know, $5 low, good deal, and $40 to $50 the most you should pay on some of the rare ones, like action replays and stuff like that for like GameCube and stuff like that could set you back. They're really popular with the Wii being backwards compatible. So check these out. If you have any questions on how to get any console to play your imported games and I didn't go over them today, feel free to message me or comment me and I'll let you know what the scoop is. I have most game consoles. The only ones I wouldn't be sure, I'd have to do some quick, 5-minute research, but I'm sure I could help you out, would be the Panasonic 3DO. I'm not quite sure on that one, how the imports work, but other than that, I can help you out. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the later at StuckInThe90s.webs.com.